Good morning, gardening friends. It's now Thursday, March 14th, I think it is, at about 8:45 in the morning, and it's been about a week since I've actually recorded anything. Things have been that hectic, so, but I do have some updates for you. The tomato plant is doing nicely. I don't know how well you can see it this early in the morning. There we go. I think we got it a little bit better. The camera's trying to balance out the light here, but let's see if we can kind of see. We've got tomatoes up there, we've got tomatoes down there, got tomatoes right there. I think that's got it. And there's more tomatoes back there. Last count there was 13 tomatoes on here. It's probably 14 or 15 by today. I do manage to get out from time to time and keep the plants watered. Yesterday was rather hot, so we actually may have lost, let me come over here and show you, on my geranium cuttings. There's just a little bit of green left on there. I don't know how well you can see that, but the other one's gone almost completely brown. So, you know what? I had a lot of geranium cuttings, so if I lose a couple of them, it's not the end of the world. I mean, if you just look over here, this geranium and those two geraniums are surviving nicely. I got more cuttings around here. I'll spot them in a minute. I just want to show you what the nasturtiums are doing. They're doing nicely. The tomatoes, yesterday got really hot, so they're wilted over. I'm hoping that just keeping them moist will help them survive. That's those two, and I moved the smaller ones down here where they can get some good sun instead of, sorry if I'm making you dizzy, instead of them being way over here, which is where I've moved my grass. Someday I'll explain what that's about. I don't mean to be so evasive, but I've got my experiment working along here. Of course, I did look it up, and it turns out that snapdragon takes about 21 days on average to germinate, and this is about 1 week. So we get 2 more weeks before we see anything. Meanwhile, I'm shooting a picture every day, so along with the initial experiment, which I posted last week, actually Monday, I'm going to try and set up a time-lapse on this. I finally settled on what position I want to actually shoot my pictures from so that they'll be reasonably consistent. Getting up to the big planter, let's just kind of take a look. You can see the Simpson lettuce and the spinach. And I've put the screening back here, but I can easily pull that away. And there's nothing really developing in here. Every so often I'll see a little bit of green. But this is the, let's see, the cinnamon basil and the large leaf basil, and nothing on either one of them. Let me put that back down for a second. And then back here, we are getting production, and I had stapled in the screening, so that's why it's still here. Otherwise, I don't really need it. The birds really haven't been bothering me. Actually, speaking of the birds, I moved their perch over to, and we'll get back to the planter in a minute. That's what you get for live recording. So I moved the feeder over to the corner of the building there because the painters are here, and they came back this week to finish up the job that they had started a few weeks ago, and they painted up above me, my upstairs neighbor's balcony. Anyway, so I'll probably move that before the next recording, move that back up into its proper position. I've already showed you the tomato. That leaves the nasturtium. Hey, we've got one growing here. I think I planted 4 seeds. I got one of them to germinate. So, but that's right on the corner, so that'll spill over and look really nice. Oh, there's another geranium back there just to prove that the cuttings are working. And we'll look at the melon patch. We're actually doing pretty good in here. And I think I spotted yesterday, I wonder if I can find it right now. Yeah, down in here it looks like, right at the tip of my finger, I don't know if you can see that, it looks like there's a little bud starting to come up. So I'm going to leave the screening on because as soon as it gets a little bit bigger, the birds are going to think it's a worm. I'll let you see the rest of what's growing in here. No major developments. The heat yesterday darn near killed a few things. You can see the radish is suffering a bit, but they're surviving. And also the painters actually had a tarp up over this side of the wall here. So, but it looks like everything survived. The snapdragons are a little worse for wear, but they'll be okay. So I think that's it for the update inside, and we'll take a look outside. So again, it looks like the petunias don't really like the heat all that much because they're kind of suffering after yesterday. But we gave them some water, and we'll see what happens. Let's see if I can catch these guys. Now I'm holding the camera. Oh, one of them flew up. The other one's perched there. Oh, that's it for now. So then we got the nasturtiums on the back of the building here, and this plant's doing fairly nice. So they're all doing pretty nicely. This one I don't think was giving flowers before, and all of a sudden I've got flowers. So see if we can just kind of give you a better view of that. Of course, I'll try and get some stills for the end of the video here. And if I come around, you can see kind of where we are on the other stuff. We got a few more flowers in here, but no seeds to really shoot. So I think I'll skip that on the stills this week. This was one of the original shots I gave you of the lilies. That gives you a little bit better idea what they look like around here. And then in the north courtyard we've got more of the nasturtium growing nicely, our orange nasturtiums. We had the flowers back here that didn't do well. Yeah, I can actually see a little bit of a seed there. I don't know how well you can see that. This has really been hard for me to show you what these seeds will look like, but we'll leave it alone. We'll let it get bigger and then dry out, and I'll show that to you if we can. And over here we got another nasturtium, a little bit lighter. That's the peach melba with the little kind of orange dots in the flower. Hopefully that's not too blown out and you can actually see it. Now this was supposed to be kind of like a tree structure that I was going to train things on. It didn't work, so I think I'll pull these bamboo out and just let the nasturtium grow. I think that's it for an update for today, unless something else happens. And then I'll try and get you another update tomorrow or sometime on the weekend. Good morning, gardening friends. It's now Friday, March 15th at, what is it, about 8:45. Came out to my garden to kind of review things and see how things are doing. Just want to show you a couple of things. I mean, it's only been, I think it was yesterday I actually recorded about the tomatoes, so no big change there. No real change anywhere. Well, no major change anywhere, but I did notice a couple of things. Number one, one of the geraniums that we had up there, I think I was looking at it going, I think it's almost gone. Well, I've decided it's gone, so I'll recover the soil from that and plant something else. But I also noticed on my snapdragons, and I apologize, I need to adjust my tripod here a little bit, but I don't know how well you can see. There is one of the pods that's about ready to pop. So let me set up the camera on stationary, and I'll show you what I'm going to do. Okay, so I don't know how well you can see this, and if I can do this without bumping the camera, but right here there's a pod. I'm going to pull this off carefully. Now, it may not be fully developed. Okay, that's not going as well as I had hoped. Get both hands in there. There we go. Finally got the pod off. Now let me see if I can sort of show you. This is what the pod looks like when it opens up. Oh, let me see, get that in. Now we're way out of focus. Let me try and refocus here. Okay, that's about the best I can do. I think I'm going to do a still shot and insert that here, but basically there's some little openings at the top there. And what I'm going to do, well, let me get the still shot first. What I'm going to do is go ahead and break this open and dump the contents into my little dish. So let's try and do that. Here's the dish. Let me reposition so I have a better shot for you. Okay. Okay, there's the dish, and all I'm going to do is just break it open. And I wish I could really get a good shot of this, but there are a ton of little seeds. They come out, it's kind of like a pepper shaker kind of thing, or something like that. They look like little sesame seeds, but you break the pot open and you can get the seeds out. I think you're actually supposed to let it go a little bit longer, and that may be, I may find out later after I try to plant my snapdragon seeds that that was the way to do it. But you break open the other side of it, and I hope you can just see this stuff pouring out. Well, not pouring out, falling out. But anyway, that's the basic idea. Let me go ahead and actually try and do this right. So there you go. You can see there's a ton of seeds. Let me do this, and then you just kind of see them. Well, I was going to try and make them sort of cascade down for you, but hopefully you can see it. They're itty-bitty little seeds. What I've actually seen somebody do when they want to go plant them is they actually mix them with sand, which if you're planting them in loamy soil makes sense. But if you mix them up with sand, just the seeds, then it's easier to broadcast them more evenly. So anyway, that's my little thing with the snapdragon seeds, and they take about 3 weeks to germinate. I've still got the other experiment running. It's been about a week. I'll update you on that. I'll give you the little time-lapse kind of thing on it. So not much else going on since I just gave you an update yesterday. But there you go.